Who likes jumping? I certainly do. Chris Plant, do you like jumping?
Yeah, I love Jumping Jack Flash, that PlayStation 1 classic.
Well, today we're playing Jumping Flash, the prequel to Jumping Jack Flash on the PlayStation 1. No, we're not. We're playing Celeste. Hello, Chris Plant. It's me, Russ, and we're gonna play
Hey, friend.
Celeste.
So we both have played through this game. Both of us have beaten this game. Is that a first on all of our modern videos?
It's pretty rare that we've both not only played the game but also beaten it. It is, for those that are unaware, it's a platformer, obviously, 2D platformer. It's made by the guy who made Towerfall, Matt Thorson, and right now, I'm just jumping through the very first level in the game, which is kind of an abandoned city on the base of this mountain that you're climbing. The mountain is called Celeste. That's where the name comes from. And the idea is it's basically like, if you've played Meat Boy or something like that, it's in the spirit of those sorts of games. Very hard games where you die a bunch, and then you learn the patterns, and then you live. Now, unlike a game like Meat Boy, which is like a standard, you've got jump and run. Here you've got this air dash that you can see me using. Basically, as you're in the air, you can dash once and you see the main character's hair changes colors. I guess what does it start as? Red? Is that red?
Yeah.
Starts as red and then it goes to gray if you don't have any dashes left, which is
it's like a robin's egg blue.
Right, sure. And so that mechanic is used throughout the game to propel yourself through levels.
Now, people might know this mechanic already, or the style of jumping, because it's borrowed from Matt Thorson's previous game, Towerfall.
Yeah, does it count as borrowing if he made the first game too?
I mean, it's still borrow. You can borrow from yourself, right?
Yeah, sure, why not?
It repurposes the core movement of Towerfall.
Yes.
And if you've played Towerfall, there are some moments later in the game where you kind of really sling yourself using momentum.
You can actually see it.
Go talk to your friend. I want to.
Oh, you want to see some of this? Okay.
But it definitely feels like that. If you know advanced Towerfall moves, they'll come to your advantage.
Yeah.
So this is the story of the game. It starts off very simple and modest. You just find a fellow traveler on the mountain. And how did you feel about this? I really was charmed by both the art style and the dialogue. I thought it was very warm.
Yeah, the dialogue is very warm. At first, I was kind of surprised by the art style of the portraits because it's so different from the rest of the game. But I found over time that it allowed them to add a lot more emotion to these characters and make you bond a little bit closer to them. So
yeah. It's weird. The art styles in general in the game, I think that's almost the choice they make throughout, where there are a number of seemingly disparate art styles that piece the whole game together. Along with this 2D art style here and the pixel art, the Overworld, which maybe we'll show a little bit later, is a low poly 3D map of the mountain, which I really, really dug. Especially because it made it feel like climbing the mountain was a bit more of an adventure. It gave it a sense of scale that I don't think I would have appreciated as much if it was a, Super Mario World type of map.
Yeah, I also I don't know if you noticed it in the dialogue, this is all set in Canada. The game is set in Canada, and
yes.
Ordinarily, I think a lot of these games are set in far-off fantasy lands, and obviously visually this doesn't look very realistic, but it's a very grounded story and a pretty grounded.
It's set near where the creator lives.
Yeah,
also,
which is around Vancouver, I guess.
Yeah.
So one of the things, obviously, the goal is getting through these maps, but there are also, as you can see, side paths. So in this case, if I don't screw it up, let's see if I can do this correctly. Oh, son of a bitch! 1 second, I'll show you the little side. There we go. Okay, so here's a little secret over here, and this leads us to over here, which is a whole side area. These are kind of off the beaten path things that where you can find strawberries, which is the collectible in the game. There's a ton of strawberries in each level. There are also cassettes, which unlock super hard versions of some of the levels. But here you can see this is kind of a totally off the beaten path secret. And look at that, I got a little thing. I think there's some sort of secret here, and I still haven't figured it out. I played through the game about half of the game. I'm playing on PC right now.
Wait, let's look at those colors. It was flashing colors again.
Yeah, the colors match the birds. I figured that part out.
Order that you should. Okay. White, purple, blue, red, purple, yellow. White, purple, blue, red, purple, yellow. White, purple.
Okay, how is that helpful?
I thought maybe if like you hit the creatures in a certain order, you could do it. Oh, I wonder if like maybe each color represents a button on your thing.
No, because
like
the controller buttons
when the
would
birds
change.
scatter, do they scatter to like where your buttons would be on your controller?
No, I don't think so. I don't know. There's something going on here.
Yeah.
I played through half of the game on PC, and then I got a code for Switch, and I actually ended up replaying the beginning half on Switch and then beating it on Switch. If you're trying to decide what platform to get it on, if you like these sorts of games, I would heartily recommend the Switch version, just because I think these games work really well as like games that you play on the couch, like because there's like times where you're dying a whole heck of a lot, and not being like hunkered in front of a computer is kind of nice. But it runs quite well on basically everything. So
yeah, I'll say I played it through on PC, and it wasn't too frustrating. And this is a thing that you address in your review really well, is that while it is technically in that massacre genre that was popularized by Super Meat Boy, this is definitely an entry point. So if you've kind of have been curious about these, try, repeat type of platformer games, this is a great place to start.
Yeah.
This is, I think, about as easy as you're going to find for the genre. Well, there are more difficult stages. Actually, do you want to do that? Do you want to pop out and show off some B-side?
Yes. Do I have any B-sides unlocked in this game, in this version, is the question. I hope I do.
You can also just cut to a later level.
Yeah, okay, let's do a later level, because it definitely gets a little more complicated. Each of the levels has their own like mechanics at work. So
here's that map too.
Oh yeah, here's that 3D map that Plante is very fond of. You can see it kind of harkens back to like Yoshi's Island. Remember in the level select of Yoshi's Island? I haven't unlocked all the levels in this PC version.
Let's do the most recent level that you have.
I kind of like this one, to be honest.
Okay.
I think it's a cool demonstration of the variety.
Oh, yeah. And this actually comes after the hotel level, which is also very cool.
Yeah, the hotel level is also quite neat. So here you can see we're kind of in this sunset-y area, and we're introduced to this new mechanic. There are these bubbles that you can jump in, and they kind of launch you a little bit. I wanted to see if there was a secret up there. Let's see. Nope.
So yeah, this is around the game's midpoint, and in terms of like what you're seeing with this, I guess gameplay evolution, it's classic Mario platformer. Like each new world you come into has its gimmick. It is very, very, very slowly introduced, and then later in the game, those gimmicks kind of get added together. So you'll have one where you hop in those orbs and they throw you a short distance, and then there'll be orbs later in the game that are red that carry you until they hit something and pop.
Yes.
And it'll kind of mix and match these different things together, so that by the end of the game, it is all about combining all the skills that you've learned to show off your mastery of what starts off as the very simple moves of run, jump, and grab.
Yeah, and one thing I want to mention here, a lot of these games are very straightforward. Mario, obviously, never known for being heavy. Oh, there's the Canadian flag there. Mario, never known for being like super heavy in terms of story. But here, I kind of like the idea of breaking up the action. I forgot the wind. Breaking up the action with a little bit of a story to kind of like give you a little breather before sending you into like more platforming levels, because these games can be a little bit exhausting if it's just like one after the other.
Yeah. Also, the story is very well done.
It is.
It deals with topics of anxiety and depression in a way that is, I wouldn't say revelatory. I think it's relatively familiar, but I think it's done with an elegance that I really appreciated.
Yes.
It's just very straightforward, and I don't know if modest is the right way to describe it, but it's very genuine.
Yeah, it feels very honest. So here we're introduced to some bouncy clouds. Whoops. Probably should go low instead of high. And you can sort of see how a game like this, I'm going to skip that strawberry just to keep moving. You can see how a game like this would like work great for a subway ride or something like that, because all of the screens are very short and you can just take a break at the end of a screen. There are also like mid-chapter checkpoints that you'll hit, and you can skip directly to those once you've unlocked them. So that's kind of nice. Shit. I need to think this through a little bit. It's been a little while since I played this level.
It's been a while.
There we go. Whoop. There we go.
Oh, got it.
Got it. There are these doors. How do I do this one? I think
over to the right climb.
Yeah. There are these doors where you need to like get multiple things. The thing I want to say is, I think in terms of the secret, in terms of the platforming, like it's very well done. It feels very responsive, very like clean. I don't think it's a life-changing platformer of a game, but I do think it kind of sets a new bar for what a platformer can be, because traditionally these games are, as I said, very just like strictly gameplay focused. Visuals oftentimes are not like a huge priority for these games. And here, obviously, they made it a big deal.
And what I like about the B-sides is Matt could be this sort of developer that makes this just as complicated as all the other popular Mastercore games.
Yes.
He made notoriously a series of Super Mario Maker stages that are just cruel in their style of design. And again, you get to see some of that in the B-sides. But I like that decision to separate those, to make it so that just because people aren't the type of people who want to play that sort of game, they can still enjoy this game. That there's really something for both types.
Okay, should I show a secret in this stream?
I think you should. And this isn't like the world's biggest secret.
This is one of my favorite secrets in the game that I found while playing it, and I
think you should show it, because I don't think it's super obvious. If people don't want to watch it, yeah.
This will be a secret. It's not that. It's this.
Yeah.
So we see this block here. We see. Maybe we can go up here. Is there anything up there? Oh yeah, there's a heart up there, but we can't reach it.
And a special type of heart. We haven't seen this type of object in this game.
This is a crystal heart. Later on in the game, there's actually a level that's locked, and you need 4 crystal hearts to unlock the last level of the game. So this will be important. But how do we get to it?
Well, we do know that the creator of this game is a big Mario fan, and that looks like an object from Mario.
Boop.
Got it.
And now we are in the background, classic Super Mario 3 style, and we can go up and get our heart there. Very awesome. As I understand it, there are one of these secret hearts for every level, as well as you get a heart for beating any of the B-side, like hard levels. So it's pretty possible to get to the final level, even if you don't want to like stomach the B-side stuff. But I have not been able to find many of those.
I was going to say, in terms of like spoilers in those hearts, that was the only one I was able to find.
Yeah, I've searched.
I think that's the obvious one.
Yeah. So, but very cool, nice touch. So if you like the little like hidden Easter egg stuff, there's plenty of that. I do actually think I have a B-side. If we want to, should I show off the horror and wonder?
Yeah.
Okay. So B-sides, as I mentioned, these are things that you unlock by finding these cassette tapes in the world. That's me getting my little secret heart for this map. And these cassette tapes will unlock the B-side. I think I have the one for the hotel. Yeah. So I unlocked the cassette for the hotel, and now we're going to jump into the B-side. Now, the main game, as I've mentioned, is pretty manageable. It's not easy, but I wouldn't call it like colossally hard. These B-sides are brutal. I'm gonna see how far. Shit. I'm gonna see how far I get. But you'll see how much more of a challenge it becomes, and it really is like if you're into the super hard style of play.
Just watching this is giving me anxiety.
Yeah. Oh shit. So it's this screen plus like a dozen more that are like this hard, maybe even longer than that. One of the B-sides took me about an hour and a half to beat. I watched the entirety of 500 Days of Summer while trying to beat a B-side over the weekend, to give you an idea. So they are very difficult.
Why did you torture yourself in so many ways at once?
Oh, come on. That's a good movie. Can't like 500 Days of Summer. Okay.
Listen, I love JGL as much as the next man, but...
There we go.
Got
See?
it.
Some of them are like obviously a little harder than others. I think this map is like a little more manageable, but we still have to do things like that. You can see that there's kind of a limit to how much you wall climb. So these, like for these levels, there's almost no room for error. And they're very, very brutal and frustrating. And I would recommend really only doing this after you've beaten the game and you're looking for other things to do.
Because I feel like some of the skills you'll use even in early B-sides are taught by other chunks later in the game.
Yes. They don't really mix and match the movement thing. Like the traps of later levels don't really show up in the B. Forget it. You get the idea. I'm not going to do this again. I did this B-side on Switch, and doing it again on PC makes me nauseous. But I did want to show the normal version of this map because this is another one of my favorite maps, and it shows you even more variety of like what they offer. Here, again, one of the early maps. This is kind of a haunted hotel. It's very creepy. Kind of a, pagoda style theme going on with the rooftops there. It's very quiet and eerie. Oh no, Siri's talking to me. Stop it, Siri. I wasn't talking to you. We're gonna get this key here. Okay, so we've made it into the hotel. There's a little bell. It's very creepy. And a ghost pal shows up.
Oh, hello, ghost pal.
And we kind of learn a little bit of backstory of all of the people that you meet along the way. And if you stick around, I won't actually like talk to this guy a ton, but if you stick around and keep talking to them, there actually will have multiple levels of dialogue that you can go through if you wanted a little more backstory.
Also, all the characters in the game are pretty good. Mr. Oshiro is, I feel like the standout.
He is excellent. Yes.
Like, it almost felt like there were going to be characters like this elsewhere, or I don't know. I was kind of surprised how the hotel stage feels pretty much like its own thing. Kind of like, this is weird, but the Dishonored, the most recent Dishonored game with where everybody was like, oh, Clockwork.
Oh yeah.
Mansion,
this actually reminded me of the Sander Cohen Bioshock.
But it's just like one of those stages that it feels so unique and almost separate from the game.
Yeah.
It's very good.
People were asking in the chat what the blue strawberries are. If you see a blue strawberry, it means I have gotten it already. So in a previous run, I already got that strawberry, but it shows you, you can get it again. It doesn't give you a benefit, but it's kind of nice to know where they were beforehand and to know, I already have that one. So we're going to get this key now. I don't know how loud it is. I kind of ducked the music a little bit for the stream, but the soundtrack is excellent. I forget the name of the composer offhand. I put it in my review, but the music is really some of the best music in one of the in like an indie platformer I've heard in a really long time. Reminded me of the Donkey Kong Country like era of like SNES synth music. I can't really describe it any better than that, but it definitely hope that the soundtrack is available for people to listen to just separately because it is excellent. And again, like if you're hearing it constantly, you would think it would get old, but for me, it really didn't. So it's a taste thing, but I really, really enjoyed it.
Can I tell you the one thing I wish this game had for me after I beat it was some sort of like radar for strawberries.
So it does have, you can see when I pause the game right now, at the bottom of the screen there, those dashes actually tell you which strawberries you've gotten, which you haven't, and those are chapter breaks at each of the lines. So you can actually see.
So and then you could go in and start at the chapter instead of having to rush through the
exactly.
entire
If you
that helps.
Yeah. So and in the main menu, it'll actually tell you if you've gotten all the collectibles in that area.
But even for people who are worried about strawberries, you really don't have to get them. It has no bearing.
It has a slight.
It has
bearing.
A very, very, very minor bearing.
I don't know though. We cannot confirm whether like if you got all of them, what happens? Because I imagine
that's true. I guess what I'm saying is, you will still enjoy the game and experience it fully.
Yes,
it will be a complete experience if you got none of the strawberries.
Yes, I didn't have a jump.
But at the same time, I mean, I like that. I like knowing that I don't have to have the pressure to get things, but if I want them for the challenge, they're there. A thing that always drove me nuts was like collectibles like Uncharted, where there's just random things, and some of them are challenges, and some of them are just, we would like you to look at every nook and cranny of the environment, which doesn't really make sense because they're supposed to be like thrilling adventures, and yet you find yourself wandering around endlessly. Oh, that was nice.
Thank you. Oh boy. There we go. Yeah, I like this game a lot. Really charming. The one last thing I wanted to show off. Can I do it from this menu? I wanted to show assist mode, which is actually something I didn't really mess too much with. But if you are a person that, based on the gameplay that we've shown so far, feel a little bit intimidated, there is an assist mode, which allows you to change some things about the rules for it. Let's see how it works out. So if we're gonna go, we'll go into the beginning. Assist mode.
Oh, we had some people asking on the stream how much Celeste cost on Switch.
I think it's $20 everywhere.
That's what I'm
not actually sure.
Yeah, it's $19.99.
Okay.
I'm not terrible on Switch.
This is a little bit later. This is going to be the last level. I don't want to show the whole game, obviously. This is a little later. We're still hanging with our dude, our friend there. I'm going to skip this cutscene so there's no spoilers. But we're going to see assist options. So I can slow down the game speed, which is kind of cool. Infinite stamina, I'm guessing. Oh, that's for hanging onto walls, so we can hang onto walls forever. I can give myself.
Oh my gosh.
All of these things. I mean, this basically breaks the game. Like, I don't think this would be a fun game to play if you turned all this stuff on. But if you were just in it for the story, you can do this, which is kind of funny. A little secret over here, but we can just like dash our way to across here for no reason. I don't think there's anything over here. If there was, that'd be weird. Oh man, it doesn't even kill you at the bottom of the stage.
Oh my gosh.
So
are you just bouncing?
Yeah, it's just bouncing at the bottom. So I guess if you, again, wanted to ruin the game for yourself, this would be a good way to do it.
No, I mean, not necessarily ruin, because maybe some people, like we said.
I guess if you're just in it for the story, a little secret. I don't think you actually, I'm sure you can get that secret without assist mode.
Oh, I mean, of course, you can get every secret without assist mode. I'm surprised it counts the strawberries.
Did it actually count it?
I thought it did.
No, look at the bottom. The strawberry counter is not there anymore.
Okay.
I'll bet it doesn't. But if you were looking for strawberries, it might be a good way to like figure out where some of them are. I'm gonna turn all this stuff off. So that's pretty much Celeste. I don't know if there's any other questions that people had, but I really dig it. If you like platformers, it's a good one. I think there aren't a ton of these kinds of games on Switch. I think the other one that jumps to mind that's quite good is The End Is Nigh, And I guess Super Meat Boy just came out, but I feel like a lot of people have already played Super Meat Boy.
And
so.
Indesnai is, I think, drastically more challenging.
Yes,
than this game.
yeah, this is
from the get-go.
Yeah.
To answer, we had one more question.
Yep.
The only requirement to complete the story is just the crystal hearts. You don't even have to do that to complete the main story. There is a post-story set of stages, and to access them you need 4 of the crystal hearts, and that is not all of the crystal hearts.
Yeah, the best way I could sort of describe it would be an epilogue. And it actually, the level that it unlocks, it does unlock like a full new level, is one of my favorite levels in the game. So I hope that people bother to do it. It's not that hard to get 4 crystal hearts, especially if you're using game facts and you want to just get to the end of it. But I would really recommend pushing through and getting them, because that level is super, super cool and worth checking out. I don't think Plante saw it, so you could beat Plante to the secret level of Celeste if you want to.
Please do.
Anyway, with that, thank you, Chris Plante, for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. And thank you, everyone at home. I'm really tired. There's been a lot of streaming today, but I appreciate all of the support in the chat and the people watching.
People should go watch that Sea of Thieves video. That game looks so fun.
Yeah, we played Sea of Thieves for about 2 hours. That's on our YouTube now, so you can check that out. It is quite a lot of fun as well. Anyway, this has been Celeste. Farewell, everyone.
Bye.